and welcome back to another tutorial. Today is all about skirts. I often see people skipping the skirt section in the thrift store, and I feel like a lot of times that comes from a lack of confidence in what to pick up. But the truth is that you can actually flip skirts really fast and for really good money if you know what you're doing. It's also great that a lot of thrift stores have their skirts priced in the lowest bracket of pricing, so you can pick them up for really cheap. Here is everything you need to know when it comes to sourcing skirts. So I'm going to start right here with this skirt wish list that I posted on Instagram, and I'm going to just go through it with all of the items that you see in the same order that they appear. So I'm going to start with the Madewell Palisade skirt. I have it filtered so that we're looking at the solds and we're looking at anything over $50. So you can see just by scrolling that this skirt can go for $50 or more quite easily, even if it doesn't have the Newa tags, and it comes in several styles. Button front skirts are very popular right now, as well as the midi length skirt. So that's something to keep in mind, even if it's not Madewell. If it looks very similar to this, it might be worth picking up. Next, I want to talk about Realisation Par. It's the NAOMI leopard print skirt. And if we look at Poshmark, I don't even have to filter the solds. These skirts are so hot. And honestly, even if it's not this brand, if you can find a cheetah or a leopard print silk skirt, it's gonna sell really quickly because of this brand. And you'll see that with this next brand. This is the Free People Normani, which kind of sounds really similar to the NAOMI in my opinion, but it's a very similar style with the leopard print silk skirt. If you want to know what the Free People tag looks like, just in case you've never seen it, it looks like this. Now let's talk about Maeve, which is an Anthropologie brand. If you can find Maeve in a midi length or maxi length skirt, it's usually really worth picking up, especially the pleated versions. And then there's this red skirt called the Sandra belted red skirt that absolutely just flies off the shelves. You'll see it in several places. But honestly, there are so many styles for Maeve that work really well. You just want to stay away from the really short length skirts. Those are really hard to sell when it comes to this brand. So example, kind of more like this. Like here they're sold, but many times if it's above the knee right here, I would most likely stay away from it. Again, it worked here for these sales, but for the most part, you're going to want the longer length. Building off from staying away from short skirts, Yumi Kim is another, and sometimes this might be in cursive, is another great example of a brand that if you can find a midi length or a maxi length skirt, it can go for between $40 to $60 depending on the condition of it, and these move fast. Which tag looks like this and can sometimes also be black depending on if it's new or old, is one of the rare exceptions when you can get away with finding something that is a short length like the Limonada skirt. It's also really important with For Love and Lemons to check not only the skirt section, but also the tops and intimate section, because if you can find a matching set to go, because a lot of them have both the skirt and the top, if you can find a matching set, you can double to triple your money instantly. So this is one of the rare instances that I would say it's okay to look for short skirts. If I find something for Love and Lemons, I get really excited because their skirts go for well over $50 very easily, especially if there's a lot of lace or embellishment on them. Spell and the Gypsy is another one I'm going to get really excited if I see this tag in the wild. Their skirts, I don't even have to filter them. They go for so much money. The Grace skirt is a great one, and also the Jasmine skirt. You can usually tell these skirts because they are just very extreme boho in comparison to all of the items that are around it. And you also can tell because they're usually a longer length, so they'll hang below most of the other skirts in the racks. I'm going to be honest, I used to not like Ted Baker, but it's really grown on me. This is what the label looks like. Be very careful. Ted Baker has its own sizing system. So definitely add in some length measurements and freshen up on their sizing system if you find one of their pieces. Their A-line skirts, their full skirts, are what I look for when it comes to Ted Baker. So anything that looks like this usually is going to do really, really well. Talking about A-line and full skirts, I want to talk about ModCloth. because these skirts, if you can find very specific designs, these can sell for a lot of money. And it's important to know that the labels with these can be under ModCloth and they can also be under Hell Bunny or Emily and Finn. So let me show you real quick what these look like. So this is the ModCloth label. It can be various different colors, but it simply says ModCloth. This is the Hell Bunny. And this is Emily and Finn. And the Emily and Finn one also I've seen in different colors. I've seen it in white before. And it simply just says Emily and Finn. HD in Paris is another Anthropologie brand. Its tag looks something like this. And you can see from the solds that if you get specific styles, they can go for a lot of money. This Art Deco one, it's the polka dots. You'll see this a lot in the solds. It goes very quickly. It's very highly sought after. But a lot of the styles are midi length or maxi length. So there's another one there. Reformation, a lot of people are very familiar with for their dresses and their pants. Skirts are another one that are absolutely excellent. As you can see from these solds, the prices are very high, so I get really excited when I find a Reformation label. There are two skirts in particular. I think you pronounce this the Bay or the Bia skirt, which is just a nice high-waist midi-length skirt with no slit. And also the Zoe skirt, which is very similar, high-waist, but this one has a really high slit on it. So that's the Zoe and the Bay, and they come in different patterns. So if I scroll down, you're going to see there's one in green, there's one in leopard, tiger, and rainbow. And same with the Zoe skirt. It can come in a lot of different patterns as well. Next up, I want to talk about Point Sur, which is a J. Crew brand. And this style does really great when it's, again, the maxi or midi lengths. So we're seeing here that they're going for over $50 and they kind of have that nice longer length to them. And last but not least, I can't believe I'm saying it, but Banana Republic, their skirts actually move pretty fast. It's all about finding the right skirts. So when it comes to Banana Republic, what I am trying to find are these nice midi and maxi skirts again. If you can find the wool ones, so that kind of look like this but are made out of wool. This one's made out of lace. But the wool ones, they go for so much money, especially if they have pockets. Thanks so much for checking out today's video. I hope you learned something new and feel a little more confident next time you go into the skirt section of your thrift store. If you found today's video useful, go ahead and give a thumbs up. If you had any comments, questions, or concerns, you can leave them below in the comments, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future tutorials.